The zookeepers at the zoo noticed something was wrong when Liberty, the resident bald eagle, refused to leave her nest for days. Liberty, known for her spirited and lively nature, had suddenly become uncharacteristically still. The zookeepers, who had always taken pride in her exuberant antics, began to worry. Her majestic presence seemed dimmed, her usual flights across the spacious aviary curiously absent, leaving an unsettling emptiness in the enclosure. Liberty's odd behavior bothered the zookeepers. Normally, she was the epitome of a majestic bald eagle, soaring high and interacting with her surroundings. The zookeepers found it alarming when she only perched silently in her nest. Each day, they drew closer to her enclosure, peering through the netting, hoping to catch a glimpse of her usual vitality, but all they saw was a motionless bird, eyes fixed on an invisible point. Initial observations showed no clear signs of illness or disturbance in Liberty. There was no visible injury, and her feathers were as pristine as ever. The zookeepers watched her breathing, looking for any irregularities, but found none. They noted her food and water intake, which seemed normal. Her perch, nest, and the surrounding area looked untouched, devoid of any oddities. Still, the mystery of her behavior deepened with each passing hour. The zookeepers speculated several reasons, from illness to environmental changes, for Liberty's behavior. Was she reacting to some unseen threat? Could she be unwell despite appearing healthy? Or perhaps something in the environment had changed, unsettling her. The zookeepers debated these questions, each offering theories. Their discussions grew more urgent, the mystery gnawing at them. With each theory, they hoped to pinpoint what was troubling their beloved eagle. They observed Liberty through binoculars, but saw nothing obviously wrong. Her eyes were clear and focused, her feathers glistening under the daylight. She occasionally shifted, repositioning herself within the nest, but made no move to leave. The binoculars revealed no hidden injuries or disturbances in the surrounding area. It was as though an invisible boundary held Liberty in place. The zookeepers watched her every subtle movement, concern growing with each passing hour. Sarah, the head zookeeper, knew they needed to act. "We can't keep watching from a distance," she said firmly. Liberty's unusual behavior tugged at her heart. The team prepared to investigate directly, each member ready for the task ahead. In the staff room, Sarah gathered her team. "Liberty means a lot to us. We need answers," she told them. They discussed possible causes, illness, environmental stress, or hidden changes. Mark suggested she might be concealing a health issue. Jane proposed something in her surroundings might be triggering her. John recalled Liberty acting agitated days earlier. "She flapped her wings a lot, like something was bothering her," he shared. It added urgency to the investigation. Inside the aviary, the team moved carefully. "Stay quiet," Sarah instructed. Liberty tracked them with her eyes but didn't move. Mark approached the nest and found nothing obvious. Jane examined every corner of the habitat while Tom adjusted the cameras. Mark examined Liberty closely. Her breathing was steady, feathers smooth and wings healthy. "She's fine physically," he concluded. Jane checked for odd smells, pests, or contamination. "Water and food are clean, no signs of disturbance," she reported. The habitat seemed unchanged, but something clearly wasn't right. Tom spent hours scanning footage. He found a clip of Liberty flapping her wings, but no clear cause. "Nothing concrete," he muttered, frustrated. The team regrouped. "She's healthy, no environmental triggers, and nothing suspicious in the footage," Sarah summarized. Silence fell. "We're missing something," she said at last. They took a short break, regrouping in the staff room over coffee. "What if it's something hidden?" Jane offered. The idea sparked new possibilities. They agreed to broaden their approach. Sarah proposed fresh steps, recheck the food supply, and bring in a vet for another opinion. Jane suggested an animal behaviorist. "Let's try everything," Sarah agreed. Dr. Harris, the vet, examined Liberty thoroughly, running tests and checking for signs of illness. Liberty remained calm throughout. "She's in excellent health," he concluded. Another dead end. Mark inspected the food supply, checking for spoilage or contamination. The storage was clean, and all procedures followed. "Food's fine," he reported, disheartened. Despite these dead ends, the team remained determined. They now knew Liberty's issue wasn't physical or environmental. It was something deeper, something yet to be uncovered. An animal behaviorist, Dr. Miller, joined the investigation. "Let's observe her patterns," she said, setting up monitoring equipment. Liberty's posture and eye movements were recorded, every detail analyzed. "Eagles are sensitive to their environments," Dr. Miller noted, focusing on deviations from normal behavior. Her expertise renewed the team's hope. Dr. Miller began with Liberty's daily routines. "Look at her focus," she pointed out. But Liberty's stillness was uncharacteristic. "We must consider subtle changes," she said. Her insights reminded the team to look beyond the obvious. She suggested interactive tests using familiar objects to gauge Liberty's response. The eagle reacted faintly, shifting her gaze. "She's not unresponsive, but something's definitely off," Dr. Miller concluded. The tests added complexity to the mystery. Next came sensory stimuli, sounds, lights, and smells. Liberty showed only minimal reactions. "It's like she's guarding something," Jane speculated. Dr. Miller agreed, but questioned what that might be. Their limited findings prompted a broader investigation. Reviewing Liberty's past behavior records revealed a stark contrast. "She's always been energetic," Dr. Miller observed. Now, her withdrawn behavior suggested a sudden, significant change. They had to uncover the trigger. With few answers, Sarah proposed seeking external expertise. "We might be missing something," she said. She contacted Dr. Martinez, a renowned bird of prey specialist. "I'll come by tomorrow," he promised, offering a glimmer of hope. The team prepared thoroughly for his visit, organizing data, notes, footage, and samples. Liberty remained in her nest, silent and still, a constant reminder of the unresolved mystery. Dr. Martinez arrived early the next day. After greeting Sarah, he dived into the data, examining past footage and current observations. "There's a pattern," he noted, catching subtle nuances the team had missed. Observing Liberty up close, he remarked on her intense focus. Examining the habitat, he pointed out minor disruptions, helping the team expand their perspective. "We're starting to see the bigger picture," he said. While inspecting the area, Dr. Martinez noticed a small metal object near Liberty's nest. "What's this?" he asked. The team gathered around. It was old and unfamiliar. Could this be a clue? Jane wondered. Sarah turned the object in her hands. "This looks aged," she said. Dr. Martinez suggested it might have fallen from above. Mark began inspecting the aviary roof. Jane photographed the object for analysis. Their excitement grew. Finally, a tangible lead. John theorized, "Maybe Liberty's protecting her nest from whatever that object belongs to." Dr. Martinez agreed. "Birds are highly protective." Sarah suggested examining the nest more closely. Jane approached with a flashlight. "Nothing unusual," she said, but kept searching. Dr. Martinez joined her and spotted a glint beneath the sticks. Carefully, he pulled out another piece of metal. More fragments were found. "These look like they're part of something," Mark said, arranging them on a table. Dr. Martinez suggested reconstructing the object. Liberty watched closely as they assembled the pieces. "Maybe she's guarding a secret," John said. The fragments began forming a shape. "This looks like a container," Sarah said, fitting two pieces together. Dr. Martinez's eyes widened. "An old tracking device, perhaps?" Mark nodded. "Could be from a past research project." The team felt a surge of excitement, realizing they might finally understand Liberty's strange behavior. Tom dug into the zoo's archives, searching for clues about the metal device found near Liberty's nest. Sarah and Dr. Martinez examined its parts. "It's definitely old," Dr. Martinez confirmed. "Possibly over a decade." Soon, Tom discovered a report on a past tracking study involving bald eagles. These devices were placed in nests to monitor long-term migration, he explained. Liberty's nest, it seemed, had retained one of them, now dormant, but possibly still emitting signals. The team concluded Liberty was reacting instinctively, sensing the device's presence. Removing it became the logical next step. They approached with care. "We need to be gentle," Sarah reminded them. Liberty's eyes followed their every move as Jane extended her hand toward the final metal fragment. "Almost there," she whispered. The tension in the room spiked. Dr. Martinez stood ready to assist. Jane's hand hovered before she gently lifted the last piece. Liberty shifted slightly but didn't resist. "Got it," Jane said quietly. The team sighed in relief. Liberty's watchfulness remained, but her demeanor had softened. They monitored her closely after the removal. "She seems calmer," Mark observed. Liberty adjusted in her nest and appeared more relaxed. "It's a positive sign, Doctor," Martinez noted. The worst seemed behind them. Sarah directed the team to document everything: photos, notes, and footage. "We need a full record," she instructed. Mark took detailed images, Jane logged each step, and Tom reviewed the video data. Days later, Liberty left her nest for the first time in weeks, soaring through the aviary. "She's back," Jane smiled, watching the majestic eagle glide through the air. Their efforts had paid off. Tom and Dr. Martinez analyzed the device. "Old tracking tech," Tom confirmed. Its components were worn and likely malfunctioning. "It may have been emitting low signals," Dr. Martinez added, "enough to disrupt Liberty's senses. Connecting the data, they concluded the signals had triggered a protective instinct in Liberty, interpreted as a potential threat. Her reaction makes sense now," Mark said. Sarah nodded. "At least we have answers." The team shifted focus to prevention. "We need routine checks for outdated equipment," Sarah said. Jane suggested regular signal scans. Tom recommended protocol updates and better collaboration with research teams. "As tech evolves, so should we, Doctor," Martinez emphasized. With Liberty healthy and thriving again, the team gathered for a modest celebration. "We did it," Sarah said, raising a glass. Jane looked around proud. Her well-being was always the goal. Their hard work and persistence had brought peace to the aviary. Reflecting on the experience, they shared lessons learned. "We must stay vigilant," Mark said. "And never hesitate to bring in outside help," Jane added. "Even small details matter," Dr. Martinez noted. Sarah concluded, "Teamwork made the difference." Liberty soared high above them, her flight a powerful symbol of recovery. Visitors watched in awe, unaware of the ordeal she and her caretakers had overcome. Jane smiled. "She's our success story." Liberty's return to health was more than a resolution. It was a reminder of resilience, teamwork, and the importance of never overlooking the smallest clues.